Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real2reel360. K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real2reel360 show. Let's get it in. We do the knowledge and wisdom so you can understand. Real2reel360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to porn. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace. Peace and blessings. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation, the God's nurse to all the human families of the planet Earth. I be DJ K-Wise Allah, a.k.a. Kato, the Black Superhero. Welcome you to another episode of the Real2reel360 show. But look no further, it's time to get it on. So before we do, you know what I have to do. Got to bring on my partner in crime, my brother in God, none other than my main man, 40 grand man, still owe me 5% of the deal, but it's all right. I love him still. Y'all know who it is.
Joshua Miller Law.
I can't hear you.
Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD.
Peace, God.
Peace to all the 5% nation of gods and earths. I want y'all to get yourselves together because today is going to be very informative. We have a man that's been doing music for over 25 years and started out, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing in North Carolina. Now he is definitely pushing the genre of music right down there in Georgia. And not only is he pushing the music, but also, too, he's acknowledging some of the greats in the business by having an award show that will make sure that everyone is being seen and heard universally. So if you can get yourself together and get your hands together and clap for Mr. DJ Uncle Virg.
All right.
What's happening? It's an honor, fellas, to be on y'all show 360 and Real2reel, and let's get it.
Hey man, I tell you, we've been sitting in the background like a lot of times, like we was talking about in the back. We've been playing the back for a little while, and we've been watching everything and watching how everybody moves. And we wanted to take time and say thank you for acknowledging individuals inside of the Southern Soul genre, because these individuals are some individuals that bring the love back into the music, bring the peace back into the music, bring the family structure back into the music. And you take your time out and got an organization where they can be acknowledged for all their hard work. So for those who don't know you, I want you to say or speak to who you are, the part that you play when it comes down to this music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm yours truly, DJ Uncle Virg. This is officially my 49th year of being a DJ radio personality. Over the years, started in 1979 back in North Carolina. I was 13 years old. My first experience with radio live on the radio. And over the years, did 25 years in North Carolina, moved here to Atlanta. Been on.
Uh-oh. He went out.
Yeah. It froze up on him.
He froze up on him. I think that's that phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who phone?
Your phone is freezing up.
Oh. Well, I got the do not disturb thing on. So
okay, cool.
All right. Now so get back to what I was saying was when I moved down here to Atlanta, Georgia, I was part of the Tupac Shakur Center of Performing Arts and did 9 years with the late great Afeni Shakur, and traveled all over the United States and performed, DJ, nationally all over the place. And then 3 years ago, transitioned to Southern Soul. Southern Soul, brought a new freshness in my career because, I've been playing old school R&B, hip hop, and all that for so many years. And then Southern Soul came in and just rejuvenated my love for the music. And there's so many great artists that I have worked with and met and been in over the years, and been on major platforms like the Tri-State Family Reunion, Spring Fling, the Soul Fest in Mobile, Alabama, you name it, And I got consecutively in 3 years, I got DJ of the Year, 3 years consecutively here in Southern Soul from the Underground Music Awards. And my biggest award yet to date is the Radio and Records Award, which is given out to all the major artists in music. And I was blessed to receive that award at the Radio and Records Awards here in Atlanta, Georgia, for my contributions to music. Then fast forward to last year. Over the years, I have been meditating and seeing how I can get back to the music, period. And so the Lord put in my mind to have a award show created for Southern Soul only. And that's when I put together award show called the AMG Southern Soul Life Award. AMG stands for Awards Management Group / Southern Soul Life, which is part of my internet radio station that plays Southern Soul 24/7 with commercial free. So you can hear all the new stuff and everything without even just, if you want to hear nothing but Southern Soul, just go to Southern Soul Life, DJ Uncle Virg, Southern Soul Life, or just Google DJ Uncle Virg, and you can hear all the Southern Soul you want to hear commercial free while you're riding or doing anything like that. And so this last year was the initial start of the AMG Southern Soul Life Awards, and it was hands down outstanding. Everybody naturally came to the award show. We had big names in the business of Southern Soul, and they coined it as the Southern Soul Grammys. And I was like, wow. So in order to, I didn't know it was going to be to that magnitude or put on that plateau, because we had live television, red carpet, and just the whole nine. And it just put you in the mind of the Grammys. So that's why they coined it as the Southern Soul Grammys. And the awards that they receive are second to none, and now they're saying if you hold one of them awards in your hand, you have to, it's different. It's just different. So,
well, I want to start off from the beginning of your journey. And you was talking about your first time being on the radio when you was 13 in North Carolina. How was that experience for you to actually get your first opportunity being a preteen in North Carolina? And what type of music was you playing at that time?
Okay, how that started was, when scratching and mixing first came into play through Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Grandmaster Flash, the Wheels of Steel, and then everybody just lost their mind. So everybody was trying to do that. But back then, it was no internet, no cell phones and stuff like that. So I was fortunate to hear it on a mixtape from New York that somebody brought to to North Carolina. And I was like, what is that? So I was like, so then all of a sudden I was messing around on my component set. It wasn't turntable. It was a component set. And I figured out what I was doing. So then every day I went to practicing. And then one day, back then there was no central air and heat. So you used to raise the windows up, and we had window unit air conditioning if you can afford them. So one day I had the windows up. I was in the house practicing at 13 years old, and the program director from the radio station rolled by my house just out of nowhere. He stopped the car in the middle of the street, ran up to the door, knocked on the door, and my mom answered the door. And he said, "Who's doing that right there? Who is doing that?" And then she was like, "My son." So when I came out, I was 13 years old, little short dude. He said, "We need him on the radio tonight." And she was like, "What?" She was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And so that's how I went. You know, when I first laid my hands on the records, now I'm here, I ain't done practice a lot in my house, but when I first put my hands on the record, my hands were shaking like that. But when the first sound came out and the people responded to me, it was on then. Then from there, everywhere in North Carolina, they wanted me to do that all over the state of North Carolina. Just do that. So that's how I got started.
So we know that you are a spearhead inside of Southern Soul. So what was the music that you started out playing? What genre? Was it hip hop or just disco?
It was really R&B, R&B, hip hop was just coming in with, and I'm gonna name some stuff that people probably don't remember, like Churches 3, Sugar Hill, of course, Run DMC and all them. They started building up that. So it was like I started out R&B, which was called soul back then.
Right.
You know, with Cameo and SOS Band and Lakeside, and I was playing all that. You know, I was just incorporating everything. So so where North Carolina is, we got music from everywhere, from North Carolina, but from New York down, from Florida up, from the West over. So everything was right there. So yeah, just playing a whole variety of stuff. So that's why my music library in my head is so broad, because when the records were born, like the Southern Soul artists that make records now, it was just like that back then when the records were born from Cameo and, Slave and all that kind of stuff. I was right there and I could see the people react right then when they created the records, like Candy and, walking down the street, watching ladies. I was right there, at a young age, watching all that, how they react to it. So.
Hey, let me shout out our family, Connected Dot. Peace, how you doing, Tracy? What's going on with you tonight?
What up, Connected Dot?
Yeah. Now, when you said you moved to North Carolina, you became a part of Afeni Shakur, Tupac Shakur.
To Atlanta.
Yeah, to Atlanta. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You moved to Atlanta and you became part of that. So how was that experience working with Afeni Shakur and that organization?
Oh man, they embraced me just like I was one of their family members. And Set Shakur, which is Tupac's sister. Tupac is, he had already passed in the 90s. But when I came up there, she had just opened the facility here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And from there, every artist came to visit, and I was the official sound man and DJ of that facility. So everything that went on for DJing the sound, we had hip hop conferences out there with Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney and Mike Epps did birthday party celebrations for Tupac, which is June 16th, which is his birthday.
Right.
And we Jasmine Guy, we did workshops together, me and her and everybody. We shot video Pac's Life with Ashanti and T.I. out there in East Garden. So I was up there all the way till the very end of the Pac Center.
Okay. Now you was talking about when you had went on the road. You have been on the road for a little while DJing, going across the country. What was that experience like when you're DJing at these big concert halls and with these different artists and watching the crowd go crazy about your mixes?
Oh, well, the thing about it was interesting, like New York always claimed to get the music first. So when it came down, like I tell you, it was in the center of everything. So because I got tons and tons, as I speak right now, promotional copies, 12 inches in vinyl. So when I went over there to the West Coast, like Kentucky and Tennessee and, so forth and so on, the music was slow getting over there. So when I stepped on the stage, it was like, whoa, because they never heard the music before, where it'd been like 4 or 5, months. We done had about a year, something like that. So it was new to them. So that was the intriguing part about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I remind everybody, there was no cell phones and no internet, no nothing like that back then. So when I stepped on their stage, they considered me the man because I was bringing all the new music. And that's what kept me booked out there. You know what I mean? Because they were like, he's going to bring fresh music over here, you know? Yeah.
Now, with your experience with DJing and music and being around all these stars for so long, because like you said, 40 something years,
Yeah.
what keep you going? What keep you thriving and wanting to keep doing this music tirelessly?
Well, the talent, and it's funny because the talent is that is intriguing about Southern Soul right now. It's people around our age that's coming up and being creative. Now the music, I'm not knocking on the music that's coming out now, but the music that's coming out now, we are here and they are there. And they might look at us and say, we don't understand where they're coming from. And I say, we definitely don't understand where y'all coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
and it's to me, I don't understand the substance in the music of today. But you get somebody that's seasoned, that's got knocked down by record labels and stuff like that. That's what Southern Soul is all about. You know, that second and third and fourth chances to the people that probably thought that they could make it back then, but they are making it now to some people that can receive. And they feel good if they get a collection of 30 or 40 fans, they already feel good that 30 or 40 fans like what they made or create. And even if they can sing or not sing, you know what I mean? It's just the point of them building a fan base to give them validation that I do have something, you know what I'm saying? So that's Southern Soul to me. And that's what keep me going, because I want to help build that fire and desire in their soul, you know, because all it takes is one. That never changed. All it takes is one hit. That never changed in life. One hit can change your life. And you can keep, going at it and going at it, going at it, going at it. And, and there's a lot of no's, but there's going to be one yes to a record that put you on the map.
Right. Now, with Southern Soul, we have what we would say some top tier artists like the King himself, Sir Charles, the GOAT Omar. You have Tucker, and you have Pokey, and of course, you know what I'm saying, the soul man himself, you know what I'm saying, Calvin Richardson. Right? But also too, you have a lot of young guys who are up and coming, who are working hard to get to that level. Like a Q Lee. We had him on last night, and his acapella was like bone shaking, really, where the talent is there. Then you have an individual like Justin from Calvin Richardson's Experience, which is his nephew.
He's real good.
Good. Stacey Adams, real good. And you have individuals who can sing and perform. Like you have a Big Rob who is more of an entertainer than any, you know what I'm saying? Not saying he can't sing, but he's more of an entertainer. And he puts on for the crowd. These are the experiences that a lot of people see when they come to a Southern Soul show. How do you feel that Southern Soul keeps that family aspect, that love into the music and things of that nature, and it keeps it grown folks? If you know what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying when I say grown folks.
I get it, because they're singing the content of each individual that you name, and plus the new and up and coming. The content is based on everyday life. So that's how all the adults can relate to what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I lost my job, or this girl cheated with somebody, and in people's mind, they saying the same thing. That happened to me. Let me listen to the song again. Let me see what happened. Can't have woman, gotta have three. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a lot of situations like that. A lot of fellows that's in that situation. You know what I mean? So that's the content of Southern Soul. It's the content that these artists are putting in that's speaking on something that people can relate to, that make them want to keep hearing it over and over and over again. And it's grown for them. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that's 35 and below never experienced anything that a 35 and up went through. They still, on Similac,
Right.
Some, you know what I'm saying? Some of them just graduated college and they ain't thought about being in a relationship, and they've been in a marriage and had people cheat on, that stuff they talking about cheating and stuff like that in college and stuff. That's puppy love. But where they ain't experienced losing everything and got to pick themselves back up, and that kind of stuff. So that's why the grown folks relate to that, and they thrust themselves to go to them shows to see, these people that created these sounds live. So they hear it all the time on the records and the tapes and the CDs and stuff like that. But we want to see them live singing to us. You know what I'm saying? See who made this great stuff. So that's what keeps it going here in the adult world. You know what I mean?
Now in Southern Soul, it has expanded to become like an umbrella. Because I know when we was coming up, you know what I'm saying, those that are in our age demographic, it was just the blues. It wasn't Southern Soul. It was considered the blues. So now you have the blues, Zydeco, Southern soul, hip hop and Southern Soul, the juke and the hook. You have different branches of Southern Soul. So how do you feel that Southern Soul has now encompassed so many different forms of music, like bringing hip hop into it? You know what I'm saying? The trail ride and all these, and addressing these type of experiences. Because growing up, I never thought to hear hip hop in Southern Soul. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a great addition, just as long as they don't try. I always felt like this. If they incorporate it with the music and make it sound according to, or make it sound classy and all that kind of stuff. Because you remember, I was there when rap was born.
Right.
And I encourage each and every rapper that come into Southern Soul, this information right here. Back in the day, them rappers, they made content and told stories and stuff like that. That just recently on the Grammys, they had a 50th anniversary. And each one of them rappers that came up there from 50 years ago, we were singing their lyrics.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you're a rapper in Southern Soul, you want to make content that way down the line, they can remember what you said in that record. So I don't have no problem with them incorporating it like that. But when they make Southern Soul that makes it sound like rap of today and back, you might as well just go into the rap genre of music right there. Because you're not getting it. But I don't feel bad about them incorporating rap into Southern Soul, just as long as they have in their mind. And then Zydeco, you touched on Zydeco. Zydeco has its lane and it's big in Louisiana and Texas. You know what I'm saying? And so like over here in Atlanta and the East Coast, we wouldn't understand because there ain't no horses out here, and so we wouldn't understand what's going on in Zydeco. But if we heard Zydeco, because I play a lot of Zydeco over here in Atlanta myself, you know what I'm saying? Like the Paul Juniors, the Little Nate and all them, and their music is great. You got Stephanie McDee, you know what I'm saying, the queen of Zydeco. Her music was featured on Oprah Winfrey, so Zydeco has its own lane and its own area. And so you got the blues, traditional blues, which that ain't gonna never change, and some of the traditional blues trying to upgrade the Southern Soul a little bit because they're relevant into what we're doing. But Southern Soul brings that little swag in bloom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it makes you want to two-step and dance and, get your party on,
Right.
So that's why I say, that's why it's starting to pop out more. And, I think it's going to be all right.
I'm gonna tell you for myself, coming from a perspective of growing up, old school R&B to the old school hip hop and the blues and all that combination. The first time that I think I've ever heard a blend of hip hop to Southern soul was with Dougie Fresh and Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally blown away because I never thought that would be a mix to be as successful as it has become.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, that's something. Now, per se myself, I wasn't really into the Southern soul the way that it is now. And my baby brother was like, yo, you got to listen to this joint. Listen to this, because we'll talk about the blues all day long. We talk about old school blues. We go back and forth. But when he started introducing me to the Southern soul side, I was like, okay. But then it started catching. And me listening to what I'm listening to, because when I listen to the lyrics, I listen to the music, I listen to everything, I break it all down. And I'd be like, okay, I could blend that with this R&B joint, or I could blend this with this old school hip hop, or I can even blend that blues with this here. So the passion that it has become now for me as a DJ within Southern Soul, it's a strong drive and I'm loving it. So my questions to you is, how do you, as a mogul, because I'm looking at you as the DJ mogul of Southern Soul.
Thank you,
what
sir.
I mean? So what is the key to, like, say if you was doing parties back in the day, you doing a Southern Soul party, what is the key ingredient to make sure you stay relevant within it?
Well, I'm creative, you know what I'm saying? And also, how do I stay relevant? I make sure that I don't disrespect nobody's music that they created. They make Southern soul music every day, and some of that stuff got great beats to it and stuff like that. So like some of the songs I might say, oh, well, let me do a little something with this, with a R&B or hip hop or something like that, and kind of like boom, 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 and then take that R&B song and play, and then come right behind it with the creation that I did with Southern Soul with a blend, and then go right into the original Southern Soul song. And before they know it, people be like dancing to the Southern Soul song, didn't know that it came out of that into this. So it's about your creativity and, just making sure that, you don't, when I say don't disrespect the music that people created, just don't get stuck on the same selection of music that you have in your playlist or your crates or whatever. Not crates is on your computer, but just utilize that. Just be creative. It's hard for me to explain because nothing is pre-recorded or nothing is it's a feeling when you get in front of the people, and then it goes from there. So that's what happens with me when I how I stay relevant. That's why people say, hey, we need for you to come here to North Carolina. We need for you to come to Alabama. We need for you to come to Texas. Because they know that when I get up there on that, it's going to be something, creative about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now,
and that's why I urge you, to keep, because when you was talking, you was doing exactly what what I do. You said, hey, I could take this R&B, I could take this rap, kind of like juice it up a little bit, and that's what make you relevant. How you can be creative in what you're doing and make people say, wow, turn their head like, wow, and not make them look at you as just a DJ.
Right.
They'll look at you as the artist then in Southern Soul, because he took this and put this together, and I would have never thought that two would match.
Right.
But at the same time, keep the integrity of the record. What I'm saying? The integrity of the record.
Exactly.
When it comes down to the Southern Soul genre, and as we have been, me and my brother have been talking last few days, the last couple of weeks, about how we need to network more with each other to expand the region of where the music is being heard.
Mhm.
Because myself, I went to New York like a week or so ago, went on the radio, took a couple of songs, and they loved it. The same
Mhm.
DJ took the song to the club, and you got 500-600 people in the club, and they sitting there bumping Marcellus, and they
Mhm.
asking to play Marcellus again. They asking to play Ice Doll again. They asking to play, different songs again that I took up there, and it's like that's an untapped region. If we could network together and expand this region, expand where the music is being heard, I think as Fat Joe Fat Joe coined the phrase, today's price ain't yesterday's price. You know what I mean? People will honestly get an opportunity to get paid for the hard work that they do instead of making it regionalized. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Well, of course, like I told you again, in the very top of the interview,
Mhm,
I was creative in creating Southern Soul Life Radio, which is
mhm,
commercial free, and all the links on all my social media platform. They
right.
click up there and they know they can hear it all the time. That's
Mhm,
what Southern Soul is lacking, and
mhm,
it's no big secret that we lack radio play. So that's when people don't know the music that if you brought, like you said, you took it up to New York and they never heard it before, but the song been out, like that same situation I told you, the song been out maybe months ago. But it's the first time New Yorkers or Philadelphia or Jersey heard it, and they
mhm,
like, wow, where you get that from? Who sings that? Where can I find that? Blah 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 blah. You'll get that all the time because society is radio based, and
mhm,
and Southern Soul don't have them major lanes like that. If a major lane is given to them, it's given to them maybe 1 or 2 days of the radio
right.
platform, which is maybe a Saturday or a Sunday. You
Mhm,
know, but you get down further south, you might have a couple of radio stations that say we all told Southern Soul, but that's down
mhm,
south. You got people
right.
in New York ain't down south,
Right.
so that's what I
Right.
said. It's all about like you said, and I appreciate you wanting to spread the platform out. And it
Mhm,
takes that creativity of somebody. We need more radio personalities in Southern Soul, social media based,
mhm,
where because people don't realize when you play Southern Soul on Facebook or something like that, it don't get red flags unless the artist went through their back in the day rituals of putting it in BMI or something like that, and they
mhm,
get paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And then Facebook will give you the red light because this artist been doing this for forever when they was trying R&B and hip hop. But
right.
then they didn't realize that they don't have to do that in Southern Soul because you put your if you don't they want to make the money sleeping. I'm not saying don't make the money sleeping, but at the same time, you want your music to be heard, and it's
Right.
impossible for it to be heard if you're going to get the red light or you can't play the record on social media or something like that.
Right.
So I suggest you know not even thinking about that because the more it's heard, the better off it is, and you give you and your brother an opportunity to say, okay, on Facebook, welcome to so and so radio station. And
Mhm,
them people in New York, because all you got to do is give a link to them people in New York, say, catch me on this day, and I play
mhm,
all the other songs that you want to hear, that kind of thing. So
right.
that's the thing right there.
You know,
Create, you know, a platform or like a radio based situation where New Yorkers and Philadelphia and California and Seattle, they can hear this thing. Because my radio station I created, I got listeners in Canada, I got
mhm,
listeners in that. And I know you hear a lot of people say that, but
right.
I put my grids on my Facebook page so people can see that, hey, this is real. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I've done radio all my life. So I'm gonna put the facts up here on my page and say, okay, Canada is listening, you
Mhm,
know, this and that is listening, blah, blah, blah.
mhm.
And even though we can't see those people in Canada, but somebody might be jamming to that song when they come to the radio station.
That's right.
You know,
They
the
might jam to
analytics don't lie.
it.
The
The
analytics don't lie.
analytics don't lie. You're right.
Don't lie.
So,
You know what I
so
mean?
that's why I say to you, man, and you and your brother, just create some situation that people up there can hear, and that's how that needs to be spread around.
You know, when it comes down to like my brother, we sit and we discuss everything all day long. It's strictly business. So when he talk about the Southern Soul and Southern Soul, like he said, he wasn't into Southern Soul. And I was like, hold on, man. I hit him with a couple of joints here, hit him with a couple of joints there. And from that point on, he started seeing, what I'm saying, the vision. And the vision is right here in Southern Soul, whereas we can take this to the next plateau. That's why, like, if you notice, I salute Connect the Dot because our connection with them has helped
Absolutely.
us a lot. Tracy, what I'm saying, Kim and Yolanda. Also, too, Vic Allen
Yes.
and our personal relationship with the GOAT, Omar Cunningham, has put us in a position where we kind of, make a little noise now. And we're able to make a buzz, not only just in the New York area, but also too in the South.
International.
Yeah, definitely international.
Absolutely.
Because like we say, analytics don't lie.
Analytics don't lie.
For those of you who think that we knew, we not new. The analytics don't lie.
and that's a great thing because that the meaning of the word connect the dots. That's the meaning of the word, connecting point A to point B get to the finish line. And when Tracy Hatworth came up with that idea, that really catapulted everything, to say, okay, I can connect with the producers, I can connect with the artists, I can connect with the promoters, I can connect with this. And it is just came in fruition to that, connect the dots. So big shout out to Connect the Dots for connecting people with people. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the mission, and don't think that that's overlooked, at all, because we need more organizations like that, that connect. And then when the thing about it, real to real, like you said, y'all been in existence for a minute. What's the funny thing about it? Facebook Live, when the pandemic hit, everybody started relying to Facebook Live. They were in the house bored, and so you could see any DJ on Facebook Live through the pandemic, 3 or 4 times a day, weekends, evening, and that kind of helped Southern Soul. It really helped. You know what I'm saying? And what was funny, I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember Ustream?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to do live broadcasting on Ustream. And the same concept, doing the mixes and stuff like that. And I used to have a Sunday show called The Overdrive on Ustream, and that was all over the world. Ustream people come in and check it out, and then Facebook brought a little section of Ustream and started allowing, us to post Ustream broadcasting on Facebook. Then next thing I know, Facebook brought that engine to become Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Facebook Live was created, through Ustream. And so I was doing that, and me, a guy named Bernard B, and Rampage, and it was a lot of DJs all over the world that had their little show on like that. So to bring it up to what I was saying is, people don't know your existence. Like, people don't know Real existence. They think y'all brand new, but y'all been here.
Right.
Same way with the Facebook Live and the live streaming. That was done way back in 2005. I started my show in 2005, 2006 on Ustream. So it's been in existence.
Right. One thing about, like, with us, we like being the new kids on the block. You know what I mean? Like, we like that. But we also too, we get cocky like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, We feel the competition because that's what music does. Is it breeds competition. It makes you want to be better. And salute to Bernard B because I watched his show the other night, and you talking about a brother that really gets down. You know what I'm saying? Outside of like my brother, he
Mm-hmm.
he gives it up and he turns the turntables down, like tears them down. And that's a whole party by itself. So salute to Bernard B, you
Yeah,
know, and
Bernard B. Is out of Florida,
right.
and
Right.
he's been doing it for a minute. And he used to do live DJing for the 69 boys,
Mm-hmm.
and what's the other group?
JT
It's
Money,
yeah, JT
69
Money,
money. Yeah.
and 69, and what's the other group? They're bass groups.
Uh, Not that Uncle Luke. Was it Uncle Luke?
Not Too Live Crew,
Not
but
too live.
it,
Miami Basin was doing
yeah.
shoot. You had people
I
like
forgot the name of it.
Rodney O and
It
Joe
ain't
Cooley.
that.
You know what I mean?
And we've been in concerts so many times together. 69 boys, and because
We said
just
tag team, wasn't it?
No, tag team was out of DC.
Tag team was in DC.
Yeah, that's DC.
yeah.
They was
out
they
there.
was at they was in Howard University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They was
Yeah,
in
but I
Howard
forgot that
University.
other bass group. It'll come to me in a second. But Bernard B was their DJ. Traveled with them all over the place, and he very passionate about DJing for real. And he been there.
Yeah.
He been in the game a long time. And so and like I said, I met him watching a Ustream video, and he was up there doing his thing, and then we connected, and we went from there.
I enjoy great music. I enjoy great DJs, and to watch people do what they do and be passionate about it. That's something that I salute any individual who does what they're passionate about.
Mhm.
Sometimes people take it as a hobby, people take it as a career. But if it's your passion to get this music out then I salute you. You know what I mean? I
So,
can't sit and
mhm.
knock anybody. Um, I salute other talk shows, podcasts. I salute them. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
watch a lot of them and I acknowledge a lot of them, you know. But I wanted to acknowledge your award show,
Okay, let's get to
right?
it.
Let's get to talking about the award show and actually what was the conception? Because you touched on it a little bit. Who are the individuals that you work with when it comes down to your award show, the AMG award show?
We have a committee. It's called the AMG Southern Soul Committee, and the AMG stand for Awards Management Group, based out of
Mhm.
Atlanta, Georgia. And what was the interesting part about it, it was just like, your brother, like nobody didn't know what Southern Soul was. And that's the
Right.
kind of people that I wanted on the committee, and let
Mhm.
them listen to the music so I can get a genuine response to who were the winners and who was,
Right.
selected and nominated.
Mhm.
So we have a round table, like we had one last night here in
Mhm.
Atlanta. And so we kind of like put our heads together. And they go around, I am the Bible of Southern Soul. So I let them know who's the
Mhm.
who's doing what, what charts they on, blah, blah, blah. But then
Mhm.
they can do their research and, follow these individuals that I say, okay, blah, 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 this and that, blah, blah, blah. And
Mhm.
then they'll ask me, certain questions like how long they've been in the business, this and that and third, what new they came out with and all that. Because the Southern Soul Life Awards is not only based on individuals that's been in the game. It's also
Mhm.
based on new and upcoming artists and stuff like that. But we don't go way back into 3 to 9 to 5, 10 years where you made a record way back then.
Right.
It's current. You know what I'm saying? So everything is based on what you have done in the year 22, you know, into 22 and 23 now. Because the reason why we had to go back a year because of the pandemic. Nobody was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So we gave them the opportunity to say, okay, some people made records in 20 and 2020 and 2021. So we're gonna base that on them years of what they have done. And then all of a sudden, you know, also the people we paid homage to the groundbreakers, because this was the first one AMG Southern Soul Life Awards, period. So you had to pay homage to some of the individuals that paved the way, and there's more individuals that's going to be, you know, acknowledged this year, you know, because we just didn't want to be one and done. Like, put everybody on the show, you know, give awards out to everybody. We want this to be a consistent thing, you know what I'm saying? So we, you know, we kind of dissected everything. So this year, we're going to honor these people. Next year, we're going to honor these people, the ones that paved the way or, you know, set grounds or, you know, led the way for some of these artists coming up. But we basing everything on 21, 22 or 22 and 23. So this year is 22, 23. And whatever happens, you know, with the charting, if the individual come out with a song that people can't put down, or, you know, if, you know, just, you know, acknowledge them. So that's how the award, the committee, we all came up with that concept. And the best part about it, there's no voting. So we don't have no influences on that. You know what I'm saying? Where people, you know, vote, because we want to be fair across the board. Like, for example, if I'm gonna use some names, like if I don't want to use a name, so if I'm gonna say if Sally, which ain't no woman, it's some named Sally, has been out and she gained a popularity and she got fans all over the place, but you know, and Sue came out with a song that everybody loved, but she just came out a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And you put them in a voting situation, what you think gonna happen? Sally is gonna get, because everybody love her and blah 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 blah. Sue got a hot record, but because Sally got most of the votes, so we didn't add that into the situation. We wanted to make sure that everybody had a fair across the board situation, and we base it on their talent, not no favoritism or nothing like that.
Okay, now, was it your intention to use something similar to the Grammys, because you spoke about AMG being the Grammys of Southern Soul? So you had the red carpet, you had the interviews, you had the things like that. So did you want to give that type of experience to Southern Soul artists? Was that part of your vision?
The vision was, okay, we want to be in, because it's a Southern Soul only award show. It's not Southern Soul, Zydeco, traditional blues and stuff. So it's Southern Soul only. So and most of them artists are making Southern Soul songs, which is the traditional blues or trail ride or whatever. They're making some, you know, but we wanted to make sure that we stood out amongst the rest in that situation. When it came down to the awards, when it came down to the experience, to the, like you really want to gun for this, because I wanted to give them that experience to where, you know how back in the day, how award show used to be where you didn't have no clue of who won. And the people be sitting on the edge of their seat wondering when they open that envelope, their name will be called. And when their name will be called, they jump up out of the seat. And that's the experience that we wanted to give here in AMG Southern Soul Life Award, because it's good. It's a good feeling when you don't know, you know, opposed to you know, the other way around. You know what I mean? And so that's why I say, hey, the Grammys, you know, the Grammys don't have a voting system. They base it on
the committee.
the committee. They have a committee, and then they base it on whatever them individuals doing, for as sales, for as live streams, for as charting, for as all that. The same identical thing that we're doing. Same thing, same thing. So a person can come up and say, "Man, I got a hit, or take this out, blah 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 blah." And the only thing I can say is, hey, that's cool, But at the same time, I'm looking at down the line. If you saying that was a hit, is it on the chart? Is it, and when I walk in the club, if the DJ popping that bad one on as soon as I walk in, like wow, that's what determines a hit for me. Right. If the DJ saying I got to play this, even on your live streams, if you ain't know how to do the live stream and that song come on, I got to put the song in there, and people are like, and so that's what it's based on, and that's the unique part about it, and they get the AMG Southern Soul Life experience just like the Grammys, that the red carpet, like you said, the interviews, the paparazzis, everything, and then you sit there and everything. You just have to be there to experience it. It's phenomenal.
Well, not to be cocky, this year we're gonna be there and we're taking the award home. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
that ain't cocky. That ain't cocky. That's confident. That's
what I'm saying?
So I don't never look at somebody saying something and say, "Oh, he cocky." No, I look at it as confidence. You know what I mean? And then with the confidence, then you match yourself up with the other ones in them categories. Because each one of them have that same confidence. But then, we look, and then that's why I say I got a team that dissect everything. You know what I'm saying? I saw some stuff that happened on y'all's show that I haven't seen. I'm talking about to just a few minutes ago that I haven't seen on other shows. And I was like, let me put that in the background and then bring it to the committee. And I said, well, dog, Real did this, right? Yeah. And I'm not gonna let people know what I seen, because if they hadn't tuned in early to see it,
right?
You missed out. You know what I'm saying? So, and they would never know. The Real2reel people would never know. So, I saw something that happened y'all didn't even know I was looking at. And I was like, I don't see that on other shows.
I tell you,
because he got me curious already.
And I co-sign myself because, like I told you, I've been in broadcasting. I did radio and I did, interviews and stuff like that, and interviews. But y'all did something. Y'all don't think y'all knew y'all did it, but I
said, one thing about peace, Kara. One thing about us, we love our audience. We love the guests that come on.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate all the support that we get, because without them, there is no us. So what we do is called edutainment for the most part. You know what I'm saying? We try to educate the people and give them something for their communities. We try to entertain them for that 1 hour or so, because just like with Southern Soul, we want to give you something that you can feel, that you can take away a great experience, where you can sit back and go home and the next day at work be like, yo, did you watch Real2reel last night? Yo, they had such and such on there, man. Them boys was partying. They was doing this. They brung this to the game. And that's what I think that a lot of Southern Soul DJs does for people when it comes down to the clubs, when it comes down to mixing, when it comes down to being on Facebook Live and things like that, because people have a hard day at work, a hard week, and they need an escape.
That's right.
So those artists in the Southern Soul, I salute every last one of y'all. We have nothing but love for all of y'all. We're trying to give you edutainment for the most part of anything else. And when we say that we the best, it's not cocky. It's not confidence. Analytics don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I just do it like that. Analytics
it's an analytic world now. So And that's why I say analytics, it's pure ratings and numbers and stuff like that you can't fool numbers at all, and that's the beauty of it now, because back then, for example, back then when I was in radio, when I was at the radio station, I would go in from 6 to 10, and we didn't have analytics back then. All the analytics that we had was when we come out of the radio station, somebody said, "Man, I heard you on the radio, man. That was, man, you have an awesome show going on." That was the only analytics we had to go by. So that's why again, God bless me over these years to stay grounded from our roots, to understand that the numbers is a part of it, but the actual individuals that tune in or listen to you in the club or party to you or pay that money to come to the concert, them are the real analytics.
Right, that's it right there.
That's it.
But I wanted to take time out right here and say to Livation Network radio station, they put us on the map. There was the individuals we started out with a couple of years ago. DJ Strong taught us professionalism when it came down to doing interviews, how to carry ourselves when it came down to doing interviews. Even though we're not there anymore, we still have to salute them, regardless to whom or what, whether it's personal, business, whatever the case may be. And we appreciate the lessons that we learned while we were there. So he gave us the opportunity and the fire to do what we're doing today and help, and it built us to where we are today. So I want to salute him, and his people in Livation Network radio station.
No doubt.
Oh, congratulations, man.
We need to go further than that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think she popped on earlier. We want to give a shout out to Coach Illy. Or she was one that gave us a platform inside of her show too, the Charge Room, and then we came on to the Kings, you know what I'm saying? So big shout out to her because she also gave inspiration and the knowledge about how to, get on and make the attraction known. And what we brought to the table, my brother and I, was a whole different spin at looking at certain situations, dealing with men and women relationships, So we want to go that way too. But also at the same time, as we remain humble about where we are, where we come from. You know what I'm saying? We don't change to say like, oh, they big-headed. No, we ain't big-headed. We still wise. We right and exact. But we still humble about where we come from because we know we come a long way. And even it's a short time, people say we've been in the game for a while. We get ready to celebrate 3 years this year. This year's only going to be 3 years. But within those 3 years, we had volumes and volumes of great people who have came on and blessed us for this show. So I take that honorably and I give that homage back to them because they didn't have to come on, and a lot of them, Omar Cunningham, Sir Charles,
state representative for Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Christopher Rabb, of course we expanded to politics and community and music. But
Judge
like I
Joe
said,
Brown, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was 2 shows. That was the exciting show, man. So again, like people like yourself, my brother, that's coming on, giving us the insight, the intels, what it takes within the industry side on this other soul. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. It's a blessing because, like I said, man, you could have been anywhere else right now, but you took time out to come on and chill with us. So I'm grateful for that.
But the thing about it, man, people don't realize this is Atlanta. Atlanta is open 7 to 7. I DJ 3-4 nights a week here, and like I said, when I got the time to, spread the love of, or accept the invitation from a great show like y'all, I try to, make myself available to say, hey, these brothers reached out to me. I'm gonna give them a chance to, dig into whatever they want to ask me, and it's an honor to be up here. It's an honor to be on any platform that want to, get something from me when I got the time to do it. You know, like I said, I'm feeling that you a DJ on the right, right?
Right.
Yeah, they is.
Where you play it?
Well, I play from here on TikTok, right from my home studio right here. I have, big venues that do, like, weddings and birthday parties and so forth, so on. But like you said, you got to remember, I retired from the military 23 years. So during those times, I was really into it back in the day before I went to the military with hip hop. I gotta give a shout out to all my classmates because we had a crew. We made sure that every one of us, we had the skills to get on the wheels and we had the skills to get on the mic. That's how we did it. We all took turns.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because if you'll be a double-edged sword.
That's right.
Because most of my DJing events sometimes is being the host and the MC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they really get it good if the MC, host, and the DJ. Or I can just be the DJ and be quiet, and they have a host of it. So you have to be versatile in your craft. And so, and I tell you, every DJ that's looking up here, if you're not well-rounded in them three areas, one of them areas is going to keep you sitting at home, and one of them going to keep you in the street. Because they call me today and say, yo, I need for you to host something in Atlanta, Georgia. I put up, hey, I'm going to host the show. Or I need for you to DJ. Or I need for you to, MC while this other DJ is. So it keeps you working, And so that's what happens here in Atlanta with me. And once I get in that club, that's my platform to break out all the Southern soul that I got in my repertoire. And be creative, like I told you earlier. And the people around here in Atlanta love it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to the point when you cross over the Georgia line and you come into Atlanta and you say Southern Soul, all fingers point to DJ Uncle Virg. Where he at? He might be in Douglasville, or he might be in Stone Mountain. He might be in Decatur, But if you want Southern Soul, he's over in that direction. Then when you ride up in the parking lot, you see cars that park way down the street. And the R&B and the hip hop people are scratching their head like, what is he playing in there?
Right.
What is he playing in there? The same way as when you go to these Southern Soul concerts, we ain't got no radio. We don't have no advertisement on the radio. But you go there, there's 30 and 40,000 people at a Southern Soul concert, and the R&B and the hip hop is saying, they thinking there's something else going on at that stadium or fairground or something like that, and we up there and doing our thing,
Shout out to Danielle Renee. She says DJ Uncle Virg is an official DJ. You know what I mean?
Show my DJ Renee some love.
Yeah. Danielle Renee, I managed her. I call her as the Southern Soul Diamond. Now she calls herself the Soul Diamond. But she came from overseas, an international star. She was very internationally. And then when she came back over to the States, she said, Uncle Virg, I want to tap into the Southern Soul. And so I took under my wings, and she was able to go on and win some awards here in Southern Soul. On her talent, not by her being with me. Her music speaks for herself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So she has a lot of songs and everything like that she put out in Southern Soul. She got one now called Big Belly Men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that because she was on the show.
But you remember what I say about the content? A lot of people can relate to that because I think I got something going on back here. So that's what it is. So shout out to Danielle Renee.
Yes.
Shout out to Danielle Renee. Shout out to Tracy Hackman of Connected Dot. She said we appreciate you too. But I know we went over our time, but I couldn't stop you from talking because there was so much information that you was given, and we love to pick your brain about a lot of things that are going on. We're given the opportunity. We want to salute you and thank you for the marks that you are leaving in Southern Soul and the path that you're making in Southern Soul. And thank you again for coming on Real to Real 360. And anytime that you are in Atlanta, make sure that you check in the Tito's Lounge and see DJ Uncle Virg.
That's right.
Spend them ones and
all my
twos.
Southern Soul super friends come and they come in and put on a show, y'all. So Tito's Lounge on Sunday evenings. It's a Sunday evening at that. You know, I tell them all, do the nights y'all regularly do on R&B and hip hop, but on Sunday evenings, it became one of their biggest nights in that venue.
Man, so if you're in Atlanta, Tito's Lounge on Sundays, DJ Uncle Virg will be in the building spinning them ones and twos, that Southern Soul, that classic blues, that one that moves the crowd, that got the crowd standing outside around the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drop that
ball. Got the cars in the parking lot. People paying extra money to get in there.
You already know.
They going from church to Southern Soul. They going from the holy water to the holy water.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Real to Real 360. I'm Joshua Melalaw, Mr. PhD. I'm handing it off to my big brother, DJ K Wise, Kato the Black Superhero. Take us out of here, big bro.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Once again, DJ Uncle Virgil want to let you know, like we say, man, you don't have a home away from home. You got a home right here with Real to Real 360 show. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody all the way live. So we ain't going to hold you too much longer. I think we need to hold back for you. If you got 2 minutes to spare with us after the show, we want to put some more stuff to you. All right. Okay. Peace to Allah's mighty 5% nation, the gods and earth, to all the human families of the planet Earth. We wish you a love, peace, and happiness salute. And we are here and we are out of here. Peace, y'all.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we starting to come to the end of the show. Right now, I want to take the time out and thank our guests for coming on. Also, too, we want to make sure that y'all listening and subscribing and tell a friend and keep sharing, because we're going to keep bringing y'all the real content. You know what I mean? So, DJ K Wise, my brother, take us up out of here, son. Peace.
I want to give a big shout out to the nation of gods and earths. To all the human families of the planet Earth, I say peace. But to our subscribers, those who continue to watch and listen to the show each and every time we come on, I give a big shout out of love, peace, and happiness to you. The peace of man, woman, and child of the you and I verse. It's time for us to disperse. We bring the best, not the worst. We thank you once again for tuning in to the Real 360. Bring a friend to hit that like and subscribe so we continue to grow, to bring more knowledge and wisdom to you. Upon our show, you make it possible for us to do what we do. Now it's time I end it just the way